What's up, everyone? I've been wanting to make a video about this for a while now. There's been a lot of stuff coming out of space. There's been meteors and asteroids hurled at us. There's been things popping out of nowhere, amazing discoveries happening worldwide, and just like Jacob Israel stated on his channel, and I've been wanting to talk about for a good while, some of which I have talked about for a good while, not only is our planet seeing an increase in strange activity, earthquakes and volcanic activity, climate change taking place, it's not just here on Earth. You see, Mars had recently their biggest dust storm that's ever been observed. Jupiter's Great Red Spot has increased in size. This right here is an image of a depiction of a new Earth that they've discovered. This big meteor here, right here, one of the oldest materials they've discovered on Earth. Science Alert has reported this is the oldest material. This is one of the oldest materials that they have discovered on planet Earth. These are some of the recent super Earths that have been discovered. Now, if you check this one out right here, it looks a whole lot like our Earth. Now, if you put them side by side, and this is the super Earth on the right and the Earth that we live on the left. There's another super Earth exoplanet right here next to ours that they're depicting the difference between our planet and theirs. The announcement of another super Earth orbiting closest to our sun, the closest they've ever seen. This supposedly another image of another super Earth that they claim to have discovered. Obviously, probably, likely a computer simulation or an artist's depiction of what they claim to have discovered. But, nonetheless, interesting. Interesting news. Very interesting to see taking place out there. Another Earth found last year. Very interesting. Very, very interesting. You have all these similar Earth-like planets that have been discovered within the past year that could possibly, potentially be habitable planets. And they talk about Earth and its climate change, but Jupiter's Great Red Spot recently increased in size. I'm sorry, it hasn't increased, it decreased after increasing. It increased earlier last year. Okay, I'm recorrecting that. Jupiter's Great Red Spot it increased in size earlier last year in 2019. Then in November they discovered that it's gotten smaller, but it's actually there to stay, they said. This giant hurricane on Jupiter is there to stay, but it has gotten smaller. Some kind of climatic change has taken place that made it smaller. And then if you remember Mars having Mars quakes, back on July 27th, 2019, NASA detected 21 Mars quakes that took place, according to the seismologists that study the planet Mars. Then recently Mars had a huge dust storm, just before last year, I believe, that completely changed the landscape of Mars from 2016, and a year-long dust storm took place, changing the landscape completely, actually knocking over the rover, causing issues with communication, and so on. Now, some people believe that the rover is here on Earth and that they're just kind of making all of that up. I don't know. I really don't know. I couldn't say anything about it because I haven't been there to see, so I don't know. But I do know that there is an island that looks a lot like some of the images that come from Mars, that they claim come from Mars. Now, it is kind of hard to fathom. Going to the moon 1969, then all of a sudden, and we can barely even live stream now without there being a communication issue, but yet live streaming from 100-some-odd-thousand miles away, all the way up there at the moon or whatever, wherever, however far it's at, having communications directly from Mars, actually controlling a rover all the way on Mars and having communication back from there, billions of miles away. I don't know. That does sound a little bit off. I mean, but hey, I'm not going to say anything about it. They claim they're building a base. They claim they're going to the moon. They claim they're going to have the Space Force just launched, just like Jacob Israel was stating, and I've talked about before, the Space Force and all of this stuff that's going on out there in here on Earth. But I'm going to say this. I know space exists. I've been hit by meteors. I mean, I've had a meteor hit our vehicle, and I've seen meteors hit nearby. We've witnessed meteor explosions. Meteors have hit Earth all the time. Asteroids go by, and we've had near misses. Space rocks do hit. So obviously, things are coming from out there to here. So that's not the question. You can look through your telescope. You can see what's there, which none of my telescopes work. But hey, I've got a telescope that I've had since 2003. Still, it doesn't work right, but still, I can still see it. People see it through telescopes. You can see the moon through your own eyes. You know it's there. So, anyway, back to this video. I'm going to get to some more topics here. It is kind of hard to fathom that the Mars rover can take a Mars selfie, in the middle of a giant Mars dust storm. Kind of hard to believe that you can get that clear images and videos from Mars that far away. But hey, I don't know. I'm not there, so I can't say. I really don't know. When I can actually see it, then I'll know. Otherwise, I don't know. I know I covered this last week, but I still find it something to keep your eyes on. Scientists have combined artificial intelligence with biology to create xenobots, the world's first living robots. Now, this is something else right here. You can look at it under a microscope and see the world's first living robots. So they combine artificial intelligence with these microorganisms, and they claim kind of created this new form of life from scratch, from what they made in the lab there. They've also created the first form of its kind using frog DNA and artificial intelligent algorithms, put them together and actually made some new species. This is what took place under the microscope of them creating an artificial intelligent species under a microscope. This is the process of their creation there. Building another life form, as you can see right there. There they are, building a life form under a microscope. And there it is. They built the first living robot, and there it is coming to life under a microscope. The first living microscopic robot. They said it's a remarkable combination of biology. It's not really living, it's alive, but it was created in a lab. It's the first combination of artificial intelligence, AI, and biology has now produced the world's first living robots. So these robots, they'll be alive. They're alive. They'll grow to be alive. They're not, they're actually alive. They're not like what we've previously witnessed. They said these xenobots may have great value. Some speculate that they could be used to clean our polluted oceans or by collecting microplastics. So they're making these things they're the world's first artificial intelligent xenobots. They're mixed with biology and robot, basically, AI. And they're hoping to use them for a practical application, to use them as the microscopic eaters of microplastics, basically. Now, there are ethical questions about this because they said they're hijacking life functions for malevolent purposes. They could be used for malevolent purposes, I mean. These xenobots raise logical, legal, and ethical concerns because if they can be used to help target cancers, they could also be used to target life functions and hijack our biology and create problems. But you could also think of the good possible ramifications of what could be. You could use them if you manage the risks properly, you could actually fool cancer cells into changing or heal cancer, or hopefully it's not just for the rich, but that's usually the way these things go, just for the rich. But then you've got all this space travel talk. You've got all of the... by the way, what happened to the talk of the fake moons that China was launching? I asked on just a little while ago during a video I was typing in the comment section. I was wondering what happened to the fake moons that China was going to launch and light up the sky. What happened to those? Haven't heard anything else about them. They're supposed to start this year. And they claim, oh, we're going to the moon by 2022. They've officially stated it. They're like, oh, well, we built a base, we're going. And China's then building a base on the other side, the dark side of the moon. So, I mean, who knows? I don't know what's going on. Obviously, these things exist. You see them. I mean, that's not the question. But are we really going? Did we go years ago? Did we continue to go? I mean, it's anyone's debate. And given the technology that we have today, and we haven't gone back as much tremendously as it's advanced since the year 1969. That was the cat. She agrees, I guess. I don't know. I know, she said. Anyway, given the technology increase that we've had since then, the substantial increase in technology, and we haven't gone back, it's just a little suspicious. But you decide. Scientists create artificial intelligence with biology. They combine it with biology, created the Xenobots. They're the first living robots. What do you think about that? It is kind of interesting. We have a lot of news about super Earths coming out that we've been witnessing. And they claim, this is one of the images of one of the super Earths. They discovered 3 new worlds. Super Earth 31 that they claim to have discovered. That was pretty cool. Last year they discovered this super Earth, a potentially habitable planet. Now this does look a lot like Earth. I mean, it's a whole lot like planet Earth. You can see this on CBS News. Give your thoughts. What do you think we'll discover very soon? Do you think there'll be some kind of false flag thing? Do you think there'll be actually some kind of a massive awakening of information? What do you think is going to happen? What's going on? And what do you think we'll discover in the coming days, months, and years? So, peace, much love, and big shout out to everyone who makes videos on similar topics. I hope to see you all again very soon. Signing out, and my links are below if you'd like to show support. If you'd like to help out, you like what I do, feel free to support on PayPal, and my email is below for this channel as well. Like, subscribe, share, all that good stuff. Signing out.